Hi, I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas, and today we're here to talk about Supermicro X8DTi-F memory upgrades. For starters, the X8DTi-F has 12 DIMM slots. There are 2 DIMMs per memory channel, meaning there are 6 memory channels as a whole. It uses ECC Registered Server Memory. It does not accept load reduce, also known as LRDIMMs. It only accepts RDIMMs. With this, you can max out at 384 gigabytes of RAM. The Supermicro spec sheet will actually show you that you can only load it up with 1216 gigs, but in fact, you can put in 1232 gigs for 384 gigabytes via 1600 megahertz. Now let's go ahead and open it up and show you a little bit more about it. But one quick thing I would like to note, if you're more used to, say, HP or Dell, this would be very, very comparable to the Dell R710 or the HP DL380 Gen 7. That's basically in line with the type of procs it uses, the type of RAM it uses, and just general functionality. So now we're going to go ahead and open it up and show you a little bit more about it, but before we do, always make sure you have your ESD gear on to keep the machine safe. Alright, now that we have our ESD gear on, we are good to open the machine, and it is safe and protected from ESD or electrostatic shock. This will easily damage the motherboard or the parts. So first things first, to open the Supermicro machines, it's a little bit different than HP or Dell, which normally have a latch down here that you simply pop open and it moves the top back for you, and then you open it up. With Supermicro, it's a little bit tougher, not that it's that hard, but you just have to push these 2 buttons down and then pull towards you, or push if you're on the other side, and then pop it open. Actually, I find it harder to put it back on than to take it off. Okay, so you will notice first things first. There are 2 CPUs. CPU 1 controls the first DIMM slots, CPU 2 controls the last 6 DIMM slots. If you only have 1 CPU, then obviously you need to make sure all your DIMMs are in the first 6 slots. If you have them in the back, they will not function because there's no CPU for them. You'll also notice, similar to what we were talking about earlier, there are 2 DIMMs per memory channel. Just like HP or Dell, they have a color code, or Supermicro has a color code. The only difference is, as opposed to it being the actual tabs, it is the slots themselves. So it goes blue, black, blue, black, blue, black. Try saying that 10 times fast. With Supermicro, the blue module, or the blue slot, is the first slot of the channel. And again, there's only 2 DIMMs per channel. And why that's important goes back to the rank rule that we've discussed in some of our other videos, that basically with ECC Registered, you have a rule called the rank rule where you can only have 8 ranks per memory channel, and this is important when using quad rank modules, and all 32 gigs are quad rank, so you could only put 232 gigs per memory channel. This is really important for a lot of this generation as a whole because they have 18 slots. And with 18 slots, you generally have 3 DIMMs per memory channel. Luckily, with the X8DTi-F, you only have 12, and it's 2, so you're safe from the rank rule, so you really don't need to worry about it. But I always like to point that out, that that's kind of an advantage to this machine as a whole. And Supermicro, I feel like most of their motherboards are 2 DIMMs per channel. I think they were pretty smart in their design when they were making them for that reason. So anyhow, now let's go ahead and show you how to actually upgrade the modules. It's very, very simple. I always like to kind of hold it down as I'm opening it up. You're going to push the tab or knock down the first tab, and then you can knock down the second tab and you can pull it out. You will notice that there is a notch in the middle, also known as a key, for the module itself. That key is very important for a number of reasons. This prevents user error from damaging the motherboard. So if you were to try to put in a desktop module, for instance, the key would be in a different place and you physically could not insert it. This just again prevents you from damaging the machine itself. And the same thing goes if you were to grab an older DDR2 server module or a newer DDR4 server module. The key would be in a different spot and you physically could not insert it. So anyhow, we are going to actually take out 4 gigs from this machine. We have 2 gigs in here, and we're going to load it up with 16 gig modules, and that is going to be a substantial increase in the overall performance. So again, you just want to line the key up properly when you're putting it in. Very simple. You do have to put a little pressure on it You kind of make sure you hear that click when it clicks in. See, this one didn't go in all the way, so I need to put a little bit more pressure. There it goes. And I'm going to go ahead and just load up a few of them for you. I'm not going to do all 12 so I don't waste your time, but we're just going to go ahead and pop a few in just to show you how easy it is. And again, the great thing about upgrading your RAM is this is really the easiest way to boost the performance of your server. If you increase or you upgrade, say, your CPUs, yes, I'm sure it will do some overall increase to the performance, but generally speaking, the CPUs are so far ahead of all the rest of the technology that is not what's lagging. It is the modules that are lagging, it is your storage that's lagging, and so forth. But really, if you want to increase just your overall performance and make your user experience better, memory is the first thing that I always recommend upgrading. So we'll go ahead and put another one in for you just to show you really easy how easy it is. So it just takes a few seconds and you can get a lot done. And also the nice thing about upgrading your RAM is so cheap these days that for a couple $100 you can really get a lot more out of your server. So we can't leave it like this. When we finish this off, we're going to go ahead and put the rest of the modules in, but this was just for showing you guys how to do it. Overall, you could see it's a really easy setup. There's no air baffle or anything kind of blocking it, making it hard for you. You don't have to remove any extra components. You literally just hop in, take your old modules out and put new ones in. It's very simple. So anyhow, well, thanks again for stopping by today. If you guys are interested to know anything else about the X8DTi-F, or if you're looking for an upgrade, please feel free to reach out to sales@cloudninjas.com. That's sales@cloudninjas.com. Thanks again and have a great day.